Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. With the moon moving through Pisces from May 20th to 22nd, we're stepping into a deeply emotional, intuitive, and sometimes confusing energy. While this transit can be incredibly healing and spiritually uplifting, it also comes with a few hidden traps that can throw you off balance if you're not careful. So in today's video, I'm sharing the 5 biggest mistakes to avoid during the moon in Pisces, and how you can prepare yourself energetically and emotionally for this dreamy but slippery lunar phase. Whether you're into astrology or just trying to stay aligned, this is crucial guidance to keep you grounded. Let's dive in. The moon in Pisces is a time of heightened emotions, psychic sensitivity, and spiritual downloads. But with all that dreamy energy comes a risk of falling into some serious emotional traps. Let's talk about the 5 biggest ones and how to avoid them. Escapism and avoidance. Trap. Wanting to check out emotionally, binge watching, sleeping too much, scrolling endlessly, or overindulging in substances. Why? Pisces energy blurs boundaries and can make reality feel too heavy to deal with. How to avoid? Ground yourself in small daily rituals, journaling, tea, walks, and give yourself gentle structure. It's okay to rest. Just don't disappear. Absorbing other people's emotions. Trap. Becoming an emotional sponge, especially around negative or draining people. Why? Pisces moon opens up your energetic field, making it easier to feel others' emotions as your own. How to avoid? Use protection techniques. Visualize a bubble of white light, carry grounding crystals like black tourmaline, and set clear energetic boundaries. Confusing intuition with fear or fantasy. Trap. Misreading your gut feelings or getting lost in illusions and what-ifs. Why? Pisces energy heightens intuition but also blurs logic and clarity. How to avoid? Ask yourself, is this grounded in truth or fear? Meditate before making emotional decisions and revisit ideas once the transit passes. Playing the victim trap. Falling into a passive or helpless mindset. Why is this happening to me? Why? Pisces can bring deep emotional release, but it also has a martyr complex. How to avoid? Acknowledge your feelings without giving away your power. Ask, what can I learn or shift here? Instead of staying stuck in blame or sadness. Over-idealizing people or situations. Trap. Putting people on pedestals or imagining unrealistic outcomes. Why? Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and fantasy. How to avoid? Stay rooted in facts. If something or someone feels too good to be true, give it space and time before fully trusting it. The moon in Pisces is a beautiful time for healing, intuition, and creativity, but only if you're aware of its shadow side. By avoiding these 5 emotional traps, you can use this transit to connect more deeply with your soul without losing yourself in the fog. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling during this Pisces moon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cosmic guidance. See you next time. Moon in Pisces, Survival Guide, Emotional Overwhelm, Pitfall. Feeling flooded by your own or others' emotions. Why? Pisces moon heightens empathy, sensitivity, and psychic openness. Prep tip. Start your day with grounding, breathwork, stretching, or walking barefoot on the earth. Journal to release emotional buildup. Foggy thinking and poor boundaries. Pitfall. Saying yes when you mean no. Unclear communication or taking on too much. Why? Pisces blurs mental clarity and dissolves boundaries. Prep tip. Write down your non-negotiables and stick to them. Practice saying, "Let me get back to you." Give yourself space before agreeing to anything. Confusing intuition with anxiety or fantasy. Pitfall. Mistaking gut feelings for fears or projecting idealistic outcomes. Why? Neptune's influence can distort perception and stir subconscious fears. Prep tip. Meditate or sit in silence before making emotional decisions. Ask yourself, is this inner guidance or emotional noise? Escapism or avoidance? Pitfall. Dizap. Why? Pisces energy wants to dissolve discomfort and avoid pain. Prep tip. Channel your need to escape into creative or spiritual outlets, art, music, journaling, daydreaming with intention. Set gentle time limits on screen use. Romanticizing red flags. Pitfall: seeing people or situations through rose-colored glasses. Why? Pisces tends to idealize and ignore reality when emotionally invested. Prep tip: check in with a trusted friend or mentor before making big emotional leaps. Make sure actions align with both your heart and your logic. Make time for reflection. The moon in Pisces is a sacred time to slow down, tune inward, and reconnect with your soul. Avoid rushing, overscheduling, or forcing clarity. Let emotions flow, but don't let them control the steering wheel. Avoid these 5 energy drains during the moon in Pisces, May 20th to 22. A sensitive time that requires serious energy protection. The moon in Pisces is a mystical, dreamy, and intuitive transit. It opens the door to higher guidance, spiritual downloads, emotional healing, and creativity. But it also lowers your defenses, dissolves boundaries, and can easily drain your energy if you're not careful. Let's dive into the 5 most common energy drains during this watery, emotional period, and how to protect yourself so you don't end up emotionally exhausted by the time it passes. 1. Toxic people and emotional vampires. The drain: you're more open and empathic under a Pisces moon, which means you're like a sponge, soaking up other people's energy. This includes anxiety, sadness, chaos, or manipulation. Even subtle passive aggressiveness or unspoken tension can be exhausting right now. Why it hits harder now? Pisces is ruled by Neptune, a boundary-dissolving planet. Emotional borders are blurred, and your usual filters may not be active. How to protect your energy? Be mindful of who you spend time with. You don't owe access to everyone. Visualize a protective white or golden light around you when entering social situations. Cleanse your energy field after interactions. Sage, sound bowls, salt baths. If someone feels energetically heavy, trust that feeling and create space. 2. Overstimulation from screens, media, and noise. The drain: too much digital input, especially doom scrolling or binge-watching emotionally heavy content, clutters your intuitive channel and leaves you mentally fried. Why it hits harder? Now, Pisces is extremely sensitive to external frequencies. The subconscious mind is wide open, making you extra vulnerable to subtle negativity from media. How to protect your energy? Do a screen detox. Turn off notifications, log out of social media, or take a 24-hour break. Replace screen time with calming rituals, soft music, breath work, a spiritual podcast, or creative expression. Choose content wisely, uplifting and soothing only. 3. Saying yes when you mean no. The drain: under this moon, you may become more compassionate, but also more likely to people-please, overextend yourself, or take on emotional labor that isn't yours to carry. Why it hits harder? Now, Pisces doesn't like confrontation. You may feel bad for setting boundaries or worry that saying no makes you selfish. How to protect your energy? Use phrases like, "Let me get back to you," or "I need to think about it," to create a pause. Remember, boundaries protect your peace, not block your compassion. Practice small, firm no's. They build your energetic resilience. 4. Overthinking, fantasizing, and projecting the drain. You might spend hours spinning in what-ifs, imagining ideal versions of people or situations, or mentally replaying past emotional wounds. Why it hits harder? Now, Pisces' shadow side is illusion, a tendency to merge fantasy with reality. When emotionally charged, your mind can drift into delusion or anxiety. How to protect your energy? Journal your thoughts. This grounds and clears your mind. Ask yourself, is this fact or feeling? Avoid making big emotional decisions during this transit. Wait until the moon moves into Aries for clarity and action. 5. Neglecting your physical needs. The drain. Pisces energy is ethereal and otherworldly, which means you might forget to eat, sleep well, hydrate, or move your body. Why it hits harder now? Your spirit wants to float, but your body still needs to function. Without grounding practices, you'll feel spaced out exhausted, and emotionally raw. How to protect your energy? Eat warm, grounding foods, root veggies, stews, herbal teas. Drink lots of water. Pisces is a water sign and rules fluids. Move your body gently, stretching, yoga, or walking barefoot to reconnect with the earth. Rest on purpose. Give yourself permission to nap, daydream, or go to bed early. Don't do this during the moon in Pisces. May 20th to 22. 5. Key mistakes overview. The moon in Pisces is a deeply emotional and spiritual transit. It heightens creativity, intuition, and compassion, but it also dissolves structure, blurs boundaries, and can leave you drained or confused if you're not careful. To make the most of this energy from May 20 to 22, you need to be aware of its shadow side. Let's dive into the 5 key mistakes to avoid so you don't get swept away by the Pisces tide. Ignoring your intuition or overriding it with logic. Mistake: doubting your gut feelings or forcing rational decisions that don't feel right. Why it's a problem? Pisces energy brings strong inner knowing, but if you're stuck in your head, you might miss the quiet voice of truth. What to do? Instead, make space for silence, meditation, or journaling. Trust your inner compass, even if it doesn't make logical sense yet. Think less, feel more. Escaping instead of processing. Mistake: avoiding uncomfortable feelings by numbing out through food, TV, social media, oversleeping, or substances. Why it's a problem? Pisces wants peace, but if you bypass emotions, they'll only come back stronger later. What to do? Instead, give yourself permission to feel, cry, vent, reflect. Channel emotions into art, music, or water rituals, baths, ocean, showers. Feel it to heal it. Don't run from the wave. Overcommitting or people-pleasing. Mistake: saying yes to things you don't actually have the energy for. Why? It's a problem. Pisces dissolves boundaries and can make you overly accommodating, leaving you depleted. What to do? Instead, say, "Let me check and get back to you," before committing. Protect your peace. It's okay to say no without guilt. You can be kind and still have boundaries. Romanticizing red flags. Mistake: seeing only what you want to see in people or situations while ignoring the facts. Why? It's a problem. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, planet of dreams, illusions, and deception. It's easy to get caught up in fantasy. What to do? Instead, pause before jumping into romantic or emotional decisions. Ask yourself, is this real or am I projecting a fantasy? Don't confuse potential with reality, forcing clarity or taking drastic action. Mistake: trying to make big decisions, launch new things, or figure it all out right now. Why it's a problem? Pisces is foggy, dreamy, and intuitive, not analytical or strategic. This isn't the best time for major moves. What to do? Instead, reflect, dream, brainstorm, but wait until the moon moves into Aries, fiery, direct energy, to take action. Let clarity come organically. It's okay to float for a little while. The fog will lift. Wrap up. Be gentle, be present, be wise. The moon in Pisces asks us to soften, tune into the unseen, and reconnect with our soul. But that same sensitivity can lead to confusion and emotional overload if we're not careful. By avoiding these 5 mistakes, you protect your energy and open up to the magic of this transit without drowning in it. What's your experience during Pisces moons? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're into astrology, energy work, and cosmic self-care.